Solomonster sounds off here. We're with Shinsuke Nakamura. Yep. How has the last few months been? You know, you started back in Dallas. You had the match with Sami Zayn. It's been a whirlwind for you. How you feeling right now? How the last few months been?
Feeling.
Speechless.
Speechless. Yeah, just enjoying my life. Yeah, change everything very quick.
Has it been as big of an adjustment for you as you thought maybe it was, or was it easy to fit right into the locker room?
Yeah, that was easy because everybody knew me, and also Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, and AJ. So a lot of friends was there.
Are there any stars in the roster that you haven't, on the main roster, that you haven't competed against yet that you're looking forward to once you make it up to the main roster?
Yeah, so I wanna wrestle with John Cena sometime. Yeah, because his moving is they're different with others. Yeah.
Kind of like a clash in styles, two different types of styles.
Like very smooth. Yeah. Not so, but this. なんだろう。言い方難しいの so difficult to say in English. Yeah, but so kind of his rhythm and moving. Yeah. Oh, hard to find the words in English and also Japanese too. Yeah, but they're different with others. So I wanna feel his wrestling. Yeah.
What was it like seeing yourself for the first time in the new video game? I assume you must have played it at some point. What are your thoughts and impressions so far?
Impression? Something weird. Yeah. So, cause too real. Yeah. So they scanned my face and something strange feeling I felt.
Let me ask you this. Any thoughts on Kenny Omega winning the G1 this year? I know you're familiar with him. Any thoughts on that, the G1?
Oh, so about Kenny Omega? Yeah. I want to say congratulations. And can I speak by Japanese? Kenny Omega か。ものすごくよく考えてるってなんて言ったらいいかな。ものすごくたくさん考えてレスリングをしてる。のがわかる。
Thinking a lot.
Yeah, I find he wrestler. He thinks a lot about for fans, for company, for himself. So I find his feeling that tough.
Thank you, Shinsuke. Here with the lovely Sasha Banks. I know you saw Mick Foley's blog about your title win. What was that like to hear about the reaction of everybody in the back? And I mean, that must have been special.
It was special because it's not like I get to see that. So knowing that people actually ran up to the monitor and watched my match, that's so awesome. It's so touching to my heart because it just shows that I'm respected by the guys. And coming back from the stage and I just saw New Day, and so many people that actually cared, like stuff like that just makes me so happy because New Day actually has been a supporter of me since day one, especially when I got to Raw and I wasn't doing anything. I was with Team Bad. I'm like, help me! You guys were in my spot before, help me! And they have just been absolutely amazing, and now they're doing incredible. They are taking over. It's so crazy. Before, like Raw TV, you would always hear people, woo! All over the arena. Now people do the New Day clap. It's so cool.
A year ago, in the Barclays Center, you had a memorable match.
A memorable?
Kind of memorable.
Kinda, right?
A little bit.
Yeah.
A year later, you're on the SummerSlam card defending the championship. What's that like?
It's so crazy. Last year, I walked in as NXT Women's Champion, walked out empty-handed. Screw you, Bailey, but I'm happy for you. Now I'm walking in as Women's Champion, and I'm going to walk out as Women's Champion, too. I get to wrestle Charlotte, who's a really tough competitor, but I'm the boss. I'm better than her. I'm walking in very confident, and I can't wait.
Last question about 2K17, the new video game. You're in it. What's that like, seeing yourself on screen like that?
It's a dream come true. I've been waiting for this for a very long time, so now that I know that I can play as myself, that is amazing, and I can't wait to get it October 11th.
Sasha, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you. My first question, a year ago, you and Becky, I think, were teaming on the TakeOver show.
Yep.
Here we are a year later. You're challenging for the women's championship. What's that like? Going from where you were last year to where you are now, it's quite the change.
Oh, you mean Sasha? You said Becky?
I meant Sasha. Yeah, you're right.
We make better rivals than partners. No, it's crazy to think, her and I started at FCW together, and then Bailey came, and then Becky. So to think that we went from the BFFs to separate on NXT, and then how we are on the main roster, it's crazy how far we've come. Just looking at pictures, you can see just a drastic difference.
The match you had with Sasha on Raw a few weeks ago, fantastic. Take me through when you walk back through the curtain and everyone's in the back. What's the reaction like when you walk back after a match like that?
2 reactions. One, I was extremely proud of Sasha. And 2, for me, it had been a long year. I'd had the title 309 days. So I just walked through the curtain knowing that I'd given it my all and there was nothing that I regretted. And that was kind of a moment of relief, like, okay, what's next? Because it's a lot of hard work, and the division, has a lot of great talent. So I was kind of like, okay, I can breathe for a second. I'll have my one night off, and then I'm ready to win it back.
Is there anybody, when you look at the women's divisions on Raw and SmackDown, Sasha aside, because you guys have great chemistry, is there anybody that maybe you haven't really worked with that you're looking forward to or you would like to?
Well, I'm looking forward to working Nia, obviously. Paige and I had a title match like a month or 2 ago, and I love the dynamic when Paige is a baby face and I'm the heel. So I'm looking forward to having another program with her. Definitely Nia, though, just because of the size difference. I'm always the bigger girl, and to finally have a girl that's bigger than me, I'm excited.
Now, I've heard you comment a lot about how one day the women are going to headline a pay-per-view.
Yes.
I'm going to try to nail you down here. Is there a timetable in your mind? By what point would you like to see that happen? Sooner rather than later?
I'm not going to try to put a timeline on it, but hopefully in the next 2 years.
I assume you see yourself being in that match?
Yes, I better be in that match, and not as a ref.
Charlotte, thank you very much. So, my first question to The Miz, who's here with his lovely wife, Maurice. You've been in your fair share of video games. I know you played the new one. What do you think?
I think it's awesome. I think the level of gameplay is very smooth. It's very easy. And I like the graphics. The graphics, I think they're always ever evolving. 2K always, every year they just add and add and add and make it that much better. And I think this year is the best game we've ever had. You got Goldberg on the cover. October 11th it comes out worldwide, so you're definitely not going to want to miss it.
Now, you've been involved in a lot of different things. You've been in movies, you've been in video games, TV shows.
A little bit of everything, right?
A little bit of everything. Is there anything that you haven't done that you still have on your list?
What is there? Is there anything on that I haven't done?
Be the pop star?
Well, I wish I could, babe, but I don't have the voice. I got the dance moves.
Well, Lil Jon's going to be here later.
There it is.
Yeah, you can go.
Okay.
You can get up on stage.
Just be a hype man. Why not?
There you go. So you're on the card for SummerSlam this Sunday. You're defending your title against Apollo Creed.
Creed. Does anyone really know his name?
I don't know.
But in all joking aside, the guy is absolutely capable. He has a moveset like no other. Perfect combination of size, strength, and power. The guy's definitely going to be someone to reckon with, but I got the ultimate weapon in my corner, Maurice.
Now, one more question for you. Now, you've been the Intercontinental Champion a number of times now. Some people...
5 times.
5 times. And, some people, they wish that the title was featured more. It used to have a certain prestige. It kind of got away a little bit.
I think it's being... a lot of people say that, but you have to understand that just because it might only gets like maybe 2 or 3 minutes on TV doesn't mean it's not surrounded everywhere. I'm doing charity events, media. I rang the bell at the New York Stock Exchange today. I did charities yesterday. It's every little things, all the little things that we're doing. I'm in movies. I'm in a Marine 5 Battleground that'll come out early next year. I just got done filming. These are all the things that title is attached to. My social media is more than 90% of WWE's superstars. So to say like, oh, people, they need more. How much more do you freaking want? It's all over the place. It's nonstop. Bret Hart wasn't doing all the stuff that I was doing when he was Intercontinental Champion. Shawn Michaels wasn't doing this. Mr. Perfect wasn't doing this. But all of a sudden, they're the ones that made it relevant. They're the ones that made it. I made the Intercontinental Champion, the championship, the biggest it's ever been in its entire its entirety in history. And there's no denying that because I have the value of social media. I have the value of that people want me. Media wants me. I'm doing all these interviews today that every single person's like, Miz. Did any of them do that back then? Probably not. Boom.
One more question.
Schooled them.
You're on SmackDown. Anybody you haven't locked up with yet that you're looking forward to?
Apollo Crews. We've never touched in the ring. So it'll be interesting to see what he has come this Sunday.
Miz, thank you.
Cheers, man. Have a good one.
So Jason here, I'm with AJ Styles. AJ, how are you?
I'm good.
This is your first SummerSlam?
First SummerSlam. Listen, this is the first everything in WWE for this year, so yeah.
That is true. But you're also in a pretty, look who you're against. You're in a pretty high-profile match. Where you were less than a year ago to where you are now, what's it been like?
It's been a whirlwind, man. Unexpected things have happened this year for me, but it's been a joy. It's been a pleasure to be a part of it all.
Is there anything that surprised you so far? In terms of just coming to WWE, everything that's happened, is there anything you look back on and go like, wow, I wasn't expecting that?
Well, I think one thing I wasn't expecting was how great the roster is here in the WWE. A lot of guys who want to have very entertaining matches, and it's not about them, it's about us kind of deal going on, and that's how you make a great company. I really believe that, and to be around those guys, it makes me want to work even harder.
I saw the video on YouTube that WWE put up when the brand split happened, and your reaction when you realized that you and the club were on two separate brands. What was that like? What were you feeling at that moment?
The air kind of was sucked out, but I just thought we were doing something great, and to be together while we're doing it and come from Japan and now here in the WWE and to be separated, we're like, holy crap! I just kind of drew a blank at the moment because I didn't know what to say and how to feel. But those guys just aren't guys I work with. They're like family to me. So to have them on on the brand split, them go to Raw and me going to SmackDown, it sucked. But at the same time, there's great things that can happen being apart from each other.
You mentioned Japan a minute ago. I want to get your thoughts. What do you think about Kenny Omega winning the G1?
Super excited for him, man. I actually texted him, told him how proud I was of him. The fact that he was he did a first time ever. That was the first time a guy's had ever won the G1. I wanted to be that guy, but Kenny, he's the man for the job. The guy speaks fluent Japanese, just an amazing wrestler. He got what he deserved.
WrestleMania next year, if you had to pick the perfect opponent that you would like to see yourself at the ring with, who would it be? Loaded question, I know.
Well, that's the question that a lot of people ask, but that's not a question for me. That's the question for the fans. They get to choose who they want to see their dream match with, and I'm not sure what that's going to be, but I can tell you this, it'll be a good one.
Last question. You're in 2K17. I know you're a big gamer. You've had a chance to play the game. What are your thoughts?
I literally just played it a few minutes ago, and I got to get used to the controls. I don't know them that well. My son has 2K16 and does pretty well at it, so I got to learn. I don't want to get home and him whoop my tail in the game. I can't have him beat AJ Styles, but it's a great game, great looking game too.
Well, I was going to ask you. I play 2K16. I suck. I'm terrible. If you had advice for me, a person I should play as, a move I should use, what would be your recommendation?
I like Sting. I'm pretty sure he's up in the 90s on 2K16, so that's always going to be my go-to guy. But it's experience, man. You got to get in there and play the game. It's like life. You got to experience and figure it out. That's the way it goes.
AJ Styles, thank you very much.
Thanks, man.